Apple just made its cheapest MacBook ever. Dell looked at that price tag and said, "Hold my coffee." This week, we're putting the new MacBook Neo right next to Dell's freshly relaunched XPS 13. And honestly, this is one of the more interesting laptop fights we've seen in a while. Because Dell didn't just build a budget Windows machine, they built it specifically to beat this exact Mac. Their own marketing names the Neo directly. That's rare. That's a company throwing a punch and telling you exactly who they're aiming at. So let's start with price, because that's the headline. The MacBook Neo starts at $599. The new XPS 13 starts at $699 for most buyers, but drops to $599 for students. So on paper, it looks like a tie, but the details tell a different story. At that $599 price, the Neo gives you 256 gigabytes of storage. The XPS 13, even at $699, gives you 512 gigabytes, double the storage for basically the same money. That's not a small win for Dell. That's the kind of thing that actually matters when you're trying to fit 4 years of class notes, photos, and downloaded everything onto one drive. Now let's talk chips, because this is where it gets a little funny. The MacBook Neo runs on Apple's A18 Pro, which sounds powerful until you remember that chip was originally built for the iPhone 16. Apple took a phone processor, gave it a keyboard, and called it a laptop. And look, it actually works pretty well for everyday stuff. Reviewers have been genuinely surprised by how smoothly it handles browsing, email, and light editing. The XPS 13 goes a different direction, with Intel's newest Core 5 and Core Ultra chips built specifically for laptops. Early hands-on impressions suggest the Mac may still hold an edge in raw efficiency, at least until Dell's faster Ultra configuration becomes available later this summer. If you're enjoying this kind of side-by-side breakdown, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe, because we're doing a lot more of these head-to-head comparisons coming up. Now, the display. This one isn't close. The MacBook Neo has a 13-inch screen running at 60 Hz. The XPS 13 has a 13.4-inch screen, and it runs at 120 Hz, double the refresh rate. Everything from scrolling to cursor movement just feels smoother on the Dell. Apple clearly prioritized price here over screen quality, and it shows. Design-wise, both machines are genuinely impressive for their price point. The Neo comes in 4 colors: silver, blush, citrus, and indigo, with a matching keyboard. It's playful, it's very Apple. The XPS 13 sticks to 2 colorways, sky and storm, but counters with things the Neo simply doesn't have: a backlit keyboard, support for multiple external monitors, up to 32 gigabytes of RAM if you upgrade, quad speakers instead of 2. So who actually wins this? Honestly, it depends on what you're optimizing for. If you live inside Apple's ecosystem, if your phone is an iPhone and your life runs through iMessage and FaceTime, the Neo is going to feel effortless in a way the XPS 13 never will for you. Battery life on the Neo is also rated up to 16 hours, which is genuinely excellent for a budget machine. But if you want more storage for your money, a sharper and faster screen, and features like a backlit keyboard that Apple left out entirely, the XPS 13 is quietly the better spec sheet at nearly the same price. This isn't really a knockout, it's a value argument. Apple is selling simplicity and brand polish. Dell is selling more laptop for your dollar. And for the first time in a long time, a budget Windows machine is actually making a Mac sweat.